All right, so I want to share with you 5 things that you should never tell anyone, especially if you're over 40, okay? So pay close attention. Now, the first one, this might be a very obvious one, but that is talking about your finances, talking about your savings, talking about your debt, anything like that, okay? That is something that I hope goes without saying that you need to keep to yourself. Once people know what's in your bank account, it kind of creates this like invisible layer of uncomfortableness or like an imbalance. And people are just going to start to treat you differently once they know what's going on behind the scenes. So definitely keep that to yourself. Also, this can open the door for manipulation. Even though you have had friends forever and family that you love and so forth, once those particulars get out, people that you didn't think would come to you for a loan or a handout are going to start knocking on the door. And that's the last thing you want to get involved in, is loaning money to friends and family. Also, although not immediately, you're going to start to see resentment from people. It may come on in a few months, might come on in a few years, but eventually there's going to be this element of resentment when people know exactly what you have, okay? So keep that to yourself. Next is your next big move or your plans, okay? Maybe you're somebody who's not in retirement, but you're planning on an early retirement, or you've set a retirement date, or maybe you're thinking about making a large purchase or going on a particular vacation or starting a business. That's something that you need to keep to yourself until those plans actually come to fruition, right? Until they actually come true and you're doing them. And talking about your goals too early can give you kind of a false sense of accomplishment, and you're actually less likely to follow through with these goals once you've publicly announced them. And you might find that your close friends and family might talk you out of something that you're really excited about. Their fear often gets disguised as like a concern. And then before you know it, you're actually defending your dream, your big idea, instead of actually taking action or building on it. So keeping silent on that actually protects you from people who maybe don't necessarily want you to fail, but would rather see you stay where you are. Real quick, I know this isn't for everybody, but if you're somebody who's interested in starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you already have a YouTube channel now and you're interested in growing that channel, then I'd love to speak with you. I'm currently working with a select group of people over 40, and I'm working with them using my wisdom content method to show them how to take their life experiences and work experiences and turn that into a thriving YouTube channel minus all the tech. If that sounds like you and you're someone who's serious about growing on YouTube, then definitely schedule a discovery call with me today. I'll put a link below in the description. And this is a big one, okay? We sometimes we want to share our weaknesses or our insecurities. I'm guilty of this a lot. You know, maybe we feel like we're practicing a little bit of humility, but what often happens is the people who you least expect might turn that around and use it against you someday. So that's definitely something that you want to keep to yourself. Also, sharing your insecurities, whether it be in professional or personal, especially if you're doing it way too early, can signal low confidence, and then it can definitely shape how people see you long term. There's a big difference between healthy vulnerability and then giving people just a clear roadmap to your personal breaking points. So make sure you're very guarded with that stuff, and you're only sharing that with people who you truly trust and those who have actually earned that type of access into your life. Next, family conflicts and drama. As we all know, there's 2 sides to every story. And once you start sharing what's going on inside the family, it's kind of like the telephone game where you call somebody, you tell them something, then they call somebody and they tell them something different, and so on and so on. Basically, you can no longer control the narrative. So venting about your family might be kind of a quick relief, But long term, it's not a good idea and it really doesn't solve anything. And you'll find, especially if you're sharing with other family members, is that it may cause people to choose sides, and it's like the last thing you want. And then lastly, sharing your intimate details about your relationship. This is absolutely something that nobody needs to know about. I don't know about you, but I've been at parties before where there's always one couple that needs to talk about intimate details. Like, they're not giving you the exact what's going on, but they kind of make jokes and little hints towards things. And it's just, nobody needs to hear that, because you don't know, you might think it's funny, but your spouse doesn't. And then that can also lead to comparison, right? You hear about one couple who's doing X, Y, and Z, and then you start comparing their life to your life. And that's not a good place to be. You know your relationship, you know what's working, and you know what's good. So keep that stuff to yourself. And if you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, even let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.